to the bottom as I can comfortably as I bring her leg over into support. Now, I don't want this knee over this leg at all. You've got to bring it over enough that there's a clear gap between the legs. If this knee's over this leg, when I go to push down, it's just not going to go. Okay? 2-finger pressure and back up gently. So I back up, try to keep the pressure constant, and I'll come. If she's a little bit tight, what will happen is this. See how there's now a gap between the floor and there's a gap between my leg with the same pressure. Right there, I'm going to come under and give her some support because that's her functional bottom. Okay? Remember we said difference between structural bottom and functional bottom. Your structural bottom is this leg should comfortably go to the floor. Okay? Just like Gita's did. All of us have that. That's our normal range of motion. That's our natural structural range of motion in this position. But for whatever reason, we're not accessing that, so we have what we call the functional range of motion. And that's the gap, that's the difference between these two. Now, when I'm doing a facilitation, that gap is what I'm trying to equalize. That gap is what I'm trying to equalize. I'm trying to bring this motion closer to the structural range of motion with less resistance. That's one of the things that I'm trying to do. All right. Now, so I found my floor as I came back under, gave her a little support, locked the knee onto my leg there. Now, also, when I rise up on my knees, don't look at me. Look at this point on her hip right here. Okay. So watch what happens to that point when I go to put my palm on the leg. You see it move up? Mm-hmm. Okay? What that's doing is that locks the hip. All right, so here's my palm press. And big generous steps. How wide is your hand? Okay, so test, palm. What was step number 3?
Hit.
Yeah, say it. Test,
Palm,
hit, stretch. Say it. Test, palm, hit, stretch. Okay, so I'm going to come under. Keeping in mind, I'm not going to try and push her suddenly to the floor. I already determined that her leg didn't want to go to the floor, right? So now I come here in my 2-hand hacking. Best way to do this is you have to exaggerate the position. If your hands are out like this is not it. See, if your hands are out, this is lazy. This is called 2-hand lazy hacking, okay? Because the technique is back here, and you actually have to move your body, okay, to get your hands back and forth. Also, you can just hear the difference. All right, here, listen to this. Listen to this. Okay, big difference. Okay, it's all in the position. I'm not going harder. Okay. After hit was what?
Stretch.
Stretch. Okay, so keeping in mind that I've already tested her range of motion there with 2-finger pressure, what I'm going to do is just back out and not abruptly or suddenly. I'm going to give her a nice little stretch and then come right out to the vertical. And make sure that when you come out, it's pull the knee straight up and pull the foot right up under the knee. Okay? Now, from there, push the knee straight forward and come up so you frame the hip.